Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs for 1st of March 2024. So let's start and see that what are the things we can learn from this day and what are the things we can add into our general knowledge and our notes. So before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you. So I've got some international news, banking and finance news, defense news for you. After that, we will discuss about science and technology, sports, obituary awards and recognition. I will also take care about the important days, books and authors, national news, state news, and at last we will summarize that what we have learned so far in this session. Before we start, the images used in the slide deck are for education purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So first news that we have today with us that PM Modi and PM Jagannath inaugurate airstrip jetty in Agalega Island. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Jagannath jointly inaugurated significant infrastructure projects in Agalega Island. So first of all, you need to understand that where is Mauritius. So you can find Mauritius in the Indian Ocean region, just on the eastern side of African continent, and it is a part of Africa continent. The newly constructed airstrip will enhance connectivity to Agalega Island, facilitating smoother transportation. Inauguration of the St. James Jetty provides crucial maritime infrastructure, promoting trade and transportation between Agalega Island and the mainland. This project marks a milestone in bilateral cooperations between India and Mauritius. So do remember that PM Modi and PM Praveen Jagannath of the Mauritius, they are coming together to introduce a new type of infrastructure projects, a newly constructed airstrip and some other projects in Agalega Island in Mauritius. DGCA penalized Air India 30 lakh for 80-year-old passenger demise. So the Director General of Civil Aviation have particularly fined for some particular reasons, as we can see here. So let's read out. So 80-year-old passenger arrived in Mumbai airport from New York on Air India flight collapsed due to immigration and subsequently died in the hospital. So during the flight and all the particular customs that he need to do for immigrations, he had particularly died after he arrived in India. The passengers had pre-booked a wheelchair but chose to walk due to the unavailability of one. So as we can, when we book the air flight, we have some particular options that what we need during our travel. And at that time, he particularly booked for a wheelchair, but during the time of arrival in Air India flight, he was not given one. So when he was not given one, so he has to walk as he has no other options. And during that particular time, his body got exhausted, and because of that, his body collapsed. So DGCA has fined 30 lakhs rupees a penalty on Air India for the incident. DGCA issued an advisory to all airlines to ensure the availability of an adequate number of wheelchairs for passengers requiring assistance. So DGCA has penalized Air India. Recently, Air India also acquired Vistara Airlines. Ministry of Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal launched Bharat Startup Ecosystem Registry website and logo of the startup Mahakumbh. So Union Minister Piyush Goyal of Commerce and Industries launched the Bharat Startup Ecosystem Registry, a website and a logo of startup Mahakumbh during a curtain raiser event of the first ever startup Mahakumbh. The registry will serve as a single platform database for startups, investors, incubators, and other stakeholders in the Indian startup ecosystem. First ever startup Mahakumbh is scheduled from March 18 to 20, 2024 at Bharat Mandapam in Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. The event aims to strengthen the Indian startup ecosystem, foster entrepreneurship among Indian youth, and showcase innovation and technology. The theme of this Startup Mahakumbh is Bharat Innovates, highlights the link between innovations and startup. To particularly support startup, India is doing a lot of things. The government of India is launching a lot of type of loans and other particular benefits. And now another platform has been started that is called particularly the Bharat Startup Ecosystem Registry website. And under that, Bharat Startup Mahakumbh has been started. NABARD and NRLM signed MOU to support rural women SHGs. So on 27th February 2024, NABARD and Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Missions, signed an MOU to support rural women self-help groups. Memorandum was signed by Charanjit Singh, Additional Secretary, MORD, and Ajay K. Sood, Deputy Managing Director of NABARD in Mumbai. Memorandum aims to empower women's SHGs through capacity building, marketing support, financial inclusion initiatives over a period of 3 years. So for this purpose, NABARD and NRLM have signed a memorandum to support the self-help groups of women in the rural areas. What is a self-help group? Some particular women, they work together to provide the particular type of services to the village level, to the remote areas, and all the type of services are provided under this category. The partnership will provide physical and online marketing support, promote climate resilient agriculture, develop pilots for digital transactions in SHG Federation. The memorandum also explores options to deploy women SHG members as business correspondents of bank. So do remember, NABARD and NRLM signed an MOU to support rural women SHGs. PFRDA notifies amendments to retirement advisor regulations. So Pension Fund Regulator and Development Authority amended the PFRDA retirement advisor regulations 2016 effective from 20th February 2024. The amendment signed with the Union Budget 2023-2024 announcement to reduce the compliance cost and enhance ease of doing business. Non-individual applicants regulated by other financial regulators like RBI, SEBI, and IRDAI are now eligible to become retirement advisors. Requirement for submission of security deposits has been removed, and applications for registration must be disposed of within 30 days. The first schedule of the PFRDA Act was also amended to include new procedures for application rejection. So do remember that PFRDA notifies amendments to retirement advisor regulations. Financial Literacy Week. RBI announces Financial Literacy Week Ideathon for PG students. So financial literacy is a very uncommon thing in between the people, the general people. So RBI has launched the Financial Literacy Ideathon for postgraduate students as part of Financial Literacy Week. The theme of 2024 is Make a Right Start. Become financially smart, targeting young adults, mainly students. Ideathon calls for innovative ideas to promote financial literacy among the youth, with participants submitting papers on money matters for young adults, rethinking outreach strategies. Ideathon runs from 26 February to 20th March with cash prize for the top 3 submissions. Other RBI financial literacy initiatives include resources on the RBI website, programs by the National Center for Financial Education, and National Strategy on Financial Education. So do remember that Financial Literacy Week has been started, and RBI has announced the Financial Literacy Ideathon for postgraduate students. Asian Development Bank priced $3.5 billion to 5 billion to 5 years global bond. So on 28th February, the Asian Development Bank has priced $3.5 billion 5-year global bond. The bond was priced 99.827% to yield 12.7 basis points over the 4.25% United States Treasury notes due February 2029. So do remember that Asian Development Bank has priced $3.5 billion 5-year global bond. If we talk about the Asian Development Bank, then Asian Development Bank is basically headquartered at Manila in Philippines. And recently they got in collaboration and provided funding for the purpose of solar project development in Assam. CIL partners with BHEL to develop ammonium nitrate plant in Odisha. So 28th of February 2024, Coal India Limited and Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited signed a joint venture agreement to establish an ammonium nitrate plant in Odisha. Plant will produce about 6.60 lakh tons of ammonium nitrate annually using surface coal gasification technology. Recently, this particular technology has been started in Jharkhand and as well as in Odisha. CIL will supply 1.3 million tons of coal. BHEL will provide pressurized fluidized bed gasification technology. JVA was signed by Debashish Nanda, Director CIL, Jayaprakash Srivastav, Director Engineers Research Development, BHEL. Both CIL and BHEL are Maharatna Central Public Sector Enterprise under the Ministry of Coal and Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, respectively. If we talk more on this, so recently another Maharatna was added, that is HAL, that is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Remember that as well. India's quarter three financial year 24 GDP surges to 8.54%, exceeds expectations. So recently, India's GDP for the third quarter of financial year 24 experienced significant acceleration, reaching 8.4% year-on-year growth. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation reported this growth on 29 February. The construction manufacturing sectors were pivotal in driving these remarkable GDP growth. The performance exceeds market expectations, reflecting robust economic activity. So, do remember that India's quarter three financial year GDP 2024 surges to 8.4%. Index of 8 core industries increased by 3.6%. So, in January 2024, the combined index of 8 core industries demonstrated a notable increase of 3.6%. This index reflects the collective performance of critical sectors including cement, coal, crude oil, electricity, fertilizers, natural gas, petroleum, refinery products, and steel. The industries collective constitute 40.27% of the index of industrial production. Increase highlights their significant contribution to the industrial landscape. So do remember, index of 8 core industries increased by 3.6%. Recently, India has particularly become the largest trader of India has become China, and also India has seen a robust growth in the terms of crude steel manufacturing. RBI revamps BBPS norms for enhanced efficiency. So the highest regulatory body, RBI, has introduced a revised regulatory framework for Bharat Bill Payment System. The overall aims to streamline bill payment and foster wider participation. It seeks to bolster consumer protection measures in light of evolving payment landscape dynamics. NPCI Bharat Bill Pay Limited, a subsidiary of the National Payment Corporation of India, serves as the designated payment system provider for BBPS. So do remember, RBI has revamped BBPS norms for enhanced efficiency. India Post Payment Bank partners with Hindustan Zinc for CSR financial service. So India Post Payment Bank and Hindustan Zinc Limited signed a memorandum to enhance financial inclusion in rural Rajasthan. Recently, Amazon has also gone in pact with India Post, so that they post department, so that they can create a logistic system in India. Collaboration aims to provide easy access to opening bank accounts, pension products, savings, investment schemes. It also empowers beneficiaries to become individual business correspondents for IPPB. The partnership promotes government social welfare schemes and facilitates income generating loans. So do remember, India Post Payment Banks partners with Hindustan Zinc for CSR financial service. DRDO successfully tests for short range air defense system, WISHORADS. So Defense Research Development Organization conducted 2 successful tests of very short range air defense system on 28th February and 29th February. The tests were carried out from the ground-based portable launcher off the coast of Odisha. The system demonstrated its capability to intercept and destroy high-speed unmanned aerial targets under various interception scenarios. The missile is designed to neutralize low-altitude aerial threats at short ranges and is optimized for easy portability. So do remember that DRDO has successfully tested very short-range air defense system. PM Modi launches India's first hydrogen fuel cell ferry. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually inaugurated India's inaugural hydrogen fuel cell ferry, developed and constructed by Cochin Shipyard, the largest shipyard of India in Kerala. Ferry's inauguration marks a significant step in using hydrogen in marine sectors. In a zero-emission, non-noise-free and energy-efficient vessel contributing to the fight against global warming. The initiative aligns with India's goal of achieving net zero emission by 2070. So do remember, PM Modi launched India's first hydrogen fuel cell ferry. Ministry of Statistics and particularly signs a memorandum with ISRO on urban frame survey using Bhuvan. So NSSO and NRSC have teamed up to digitize the urban frame survey using advanced geo ICT tools via the Bhuvan platform. The objective is to facilitate urban frame survey in the digital mode to enhance efficiency and accuracy in data collection and maintenance. The collaboration aims to enhance the mobile application used for geotagging NSSO urban frame survey data. Focus on the development and improvement of this application. So do remember that Ministry of Statistics signed an MOU with the ISRO so that they can create a new type of ecosystem in which will help in the collecting the data regarding the demography of India. Geological Survey of India names new marine species after President Draupadi Murmu. So recently, Geological Survey of India identified and named a new species of marine head shield sea slug discovered along the West Bengal and Odisha coast. So recently, an eel was also discovered in Odisha. An aquafire genus was discovered in Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat. If we go to Western Himalayas, then a snake was discovered, which was named after the Leonardo DiCaprio. If we go to Arunachal Pradesh, a particular ant was discovered that is particularly blue heavy metal ant. And now a particular Geological Survey of India has discovered a species of slug that is named after the President of India. Named Melanoclamis Draupadi, this distinctive species bears a ruby red spot. A unique characteristic has distinguished it from the other sea slugs. The species have discovered from the coastal areas of Digha in West Bengal and Udaipur in Odisha. Juventus midfielder Paul Pogba banned for 4 years for doping. So Paul Pogba received a 4-year ban from football following doping allegations. Italy's sports prosecutor advocated for the suspension. Doping incident occurred after Juventus 3-0 victory against the Udinese in the Italian Serie A opener. Pogba's provisional suspension was a result of this incident. So do remember Juventus midfielder Paul Pogba banned for 4 years. To add to that, one thing you can also add in this particular thing that recently the Euro Cup was won by Spain. Shafiqur Rahman Burke, India's oldest Lok Sabha MP, passed away. So Shafiqur Rahman Burke, India's oldest parliamentarian and a founding member of the Samajwadi Party, passed away at the age of 93 in Muradabad. He was born on 11th of July 1930 in Deepa Sarai, Sambhal, Uttar Pradesh. Sambhal is the place where recently the Kalki temple was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Burke served as the Member of Parliament for 5 terms representing Sambhal constituency, 11th, 12th and 15th Lok Sabha, Muradabad constituency in the 14th Lok Sabha. He also served as the MLA in Uttar Pradesh for 4 terms. Burke was serving as the MP of 17th Lok Sabha, representing the Sambhal constituency at the time of his passing. So basically he was 93 years old, but still he was the MP from Sambhal constituency and he was representing the Lok Sabha in the 17th Lok Sabha. Currently we are in 18th Lok Sabha. Brian Mulroney, former Canadian Prime Minister, passed away at 84. So Brian Mulroney, the former Canadian Prime Minister known for his transformative policies, has died at the age of 84. Mulroney led the centre-right Progressive Conservatives to a historic victory in 1984. 9-year tenure was marked by significant policy reforms, including negotiation of the Canada-United States Free Trade Agreement. Mulroney's legacy remains complex and influential in Canada politics. So remember, another politician, Brian Mulroney, passed away, the former Canadian Prime Minister, at the age of 84. Sunil Bharti Mittal awarded honorary knighthood. So knighthood is the particular honor that has been given to a lot of people, and it is also named as Sir. And if you remember, then Rabindranath Tagore was also given this title, and later he returned it back after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So Sunil Bharti Mittal, the chairman founder of Bharti Enterprises, has been honored, or also known as Airtel, has been conferred with honorary knighthood by British King Charles III. He became the first Indian citizen to receive this prestigious honor. Award recognizes his contribution to UK-India business relations. Mittal's significant role in fostering business relations between the UK and India is acknowledged. So remember, Sunil Bharti Mittal awarded honorary knighthood. World Seagrass Day. So celebrated annually on 1st March, World Seagrass Day. Importance of seagrass in marine ecosystem. The United Nations General Assembly has established this observance on 22nd May 2022. The day underscores urgent need of seagrass conservation. The very famous seagrass that you will find is in the Atlantic Ocean, and particularly the seagrass originated around 100 million years ago, marking a significant adaptation to marine environment. So Sargasso Sea, you must have heard about Sargasso grass and Sargasso Sea. So it is a very famous seagrass, and it particularly founds in Atlantic Ocean, North Atlantic Ocean, and it is also sometimes termed as the sea that has no coast. Rare Disease Day. So 2024, February 29, Rare Disease Day is observed annually on the last day of February to raise awareness about rare diseases and their impact on affected individuals. Rare Disease Day is observed on 29 February 2024, marks the 17th observance of the day. The theme of 2024 is Share Your Colors, continuing the themes for 2020 and 2023. Rare Disease Day was actually launched by the European Organization for Rare Diseases in 2008. Since its inception, Rare Disease Day events have been held in over 100 countries, with 29 February chosen as it is a rare day that occurs once every 4 years. Zero Discrimination Day. So March 1 marks Zero Discrimination Day, dedicated to advocating for the right of every individual to live a life free from discrimination and prejudices. This global observance, initiated by UNAIDS, aimed to raise awareness about the detrimental effects of discrimination. It promotes equality, compassion, respect for all individuals. Zero Discrimination Day was first celebrated in 2014, following the launch of Zero Discrimination campaign by UNAIDS on World AIDS Day in December 2013. Former Indian diplomat Lakshmi Puri launched her debut novel, Swallowing the Sun. So Lakshmi Murdeshwari Puri, former Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations, launched her debut novel, Swallowing the Sun, a novel. The book unveils the international actor Kabir Bedi in an event held in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Kabir Bedi, he was also honored with the Merit of Honor in Italy last year. The novel, published by Aleph Back Book Company, is set during the time of independence and is inspired by Puri's parents and her roots in Maharashtra. Launch event was attended by notable personalities including Anand Mahindra, chairman of Mahindra Group, and Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Lakshmi Puri is also the wife of Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri and former Deputy Executive Director of UN Women. So remember, Lakshmi Puri, she has launched her debut novel, that is Swallowing the Sun. IPS officer Daljit Singh Chaudhary named NSG's new Director General. So recently what has happened, guys, Daljit Singh Chaudhary, 1990 batch IPS officer, has been appointed as the Director General of the National Security Guard. The Chaudhary is currently serving as the DG of Shasastra Seema Bal. So basically he is holding two positions. One is the NSG and one is the SSB. He will now shoulder the additional responsibility of leading the NSG, commonly referred to as the Black Cats, based in Gurugram, Manesar. This appointment marks a significant development in India's security apparatus. MOEF-CC amends Green Credit Program rules to award a green credit per brown tree. So, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has amended the green credit rules of the green credit programs. Under the new amendment, one green credit will be awarded for each grown tree. Amendments outline criteria for land eligibility, application procedures, standardized methodology for calculating green credits. Green credits will be given for tree plantation on degraded land, including open forest, scrubland, wasteland, and catchment areas. With minimum land size of 5 hectares, the green credits can be used for compensatory afforestation compliance. ESG leadership indicators, and CSR initiatives. So do remember that Ministry of Environment has amended the Green Credit Program rules. Overview of PM Modi visit to Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh. So recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was on visit to Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, and we have some insights. So particularly in Gujarat, PM Modi inaugurated the foundation stone of various projects worth rupees 60,000 crore. His participation in Golden Jubilee celebration of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, and dedicated two pressurized heavy water reactors at Kakrapad Atomic Power Station in Surat. Heavy water reactors are basically those things which are an important component of the atomic power stations. In Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, PM Modi inaugurated and laid the foundation stone for project worth rupees 13,000 crore, including the quick pontoon opening mechanism system. He also unveiled Sant Guru Ravidas statue in his 647th birth anniversary. Ministry of Women and Child Development organizes Poshan Utsav, celebrating nutrition to promote good nutrition behavior. So recently, the Ministry of Women and Child Development organized Poshan Utsav at the Oberoi on 29 February 2024. Event aimed to promote good nutrition behavior and highlight India's ongoing efforts to combat malnutrition. It features the release of the Poshan Utsav book conceptualized by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. The book was curated by Deen Dayal Research Institute, DRI. So do remember that Ministry of Women and Child Development organizes the Poshan Utsav, celebrating the nutrition to promote good nutrition behavior. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi unveils Coal Logistics Plan and Policy. So Union Minister of Coal, Mines and Parliamentary Affairs Prahlad Joshi announced the launch of the National Coal Logistics Plan and Policy. The policy aims to enhance railway utilization in coal transportation, anticipate a surge in coal consumption from 980 million tons to 1.5 billion tons by 2030. Key objectives include the cost savings, reduce environmental impact, and enhance efficiency in coal logistics. So the best quality of coal is anthracite, and it is found in the Ruhr of India, that is the Chota Nagpur Plateau. And who is the Union Minister of Coal? That is Mr. Prahlad Joshi. Ghana Parliament passes anti-LGBTQ bill. So Ghana's parliament has approved a controversial human sexual rights and family values bill, which awaits presidential assent. So the parliament has passed the bill, but it is still requires the presidential assent, as in our country under Article 111 in India. The president assent is important. So same is the situation in Ghana. The bill aims to uphold traditional Ghanaian family values and regulate human sexual rights. Criminalize identification with LGBTQ identifies imposing penalties of up to 3 years in prison. Individuals found promoting or supporting LGBTQ activities could face up to 5 years in prison under the proposed law. So remember that Ghana Parliament has passed the anti-LGBTQ bill. Indian dam in Punjab holds Ravi River flow to Pakistan. So Ravi River, as we know, is a tributary of one of the tributary of Indus. But if we talk about especially of Ravi, so when we talk about these rivers, so Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Satluj, these are the 5 tributaries of Indus River. Out of which, if we talk about Ravi, so Ravi merges with Chenab, that is the largest tributary of Indus, and then it flows with Chenab towards Indus River. So basically, Indian dam in Punjab holds Ravi River flows to Pakistan. After 45 years, Shahpur Kandi barrage completion is a major milestone, stopping Ravi River water flow into Pakistan. This will greatly impact Kathua and Samba districts in Jammu Kashmir, benefiting over 30,000 hectares of land with irrigation. The project was initiated in 1995 by the former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. According to 1960 Indus Treaty, India maintains sole control over Ravi, Satluj and Beas rivers. So under that, the Ravi River, we can construct the dam and control it. Cabinet approval establishment of International Big Cat Alliance. Union Cabinet, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved the establishment of International Big Cat Alliance with its headquarters based in India. The landmark decision comes with one-time budgetary support of rupees 150 crore for the period of 5 years. International Big Cat Alliance so focuses on conserving big cats, including tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, puma, jaguar, cheetah. The aim is to strengthen global efforts in big cat conservation. Recently, Iberian lynx was also transferred from endangered to vulnerable species in IUCN list. So remember, the International Big Cat Alliance cabinet has approved the establishment of this kind of alliance. Bhupendra Yadav releases reports on status of leopards in India. So Shri Bhupendra Yadav, in collaboration with NTCA, that is National Tiger Conservation Authority, Wildlife Institute of India, unveiled the fifth cycle of leopard population estimation in India. India's leopard population is estimated at 13,874, showcasing stability compared to the previous estimate. This represents only 70% of leopard habitat, with the Himalayas and semi-arid regions not sampled. Madhya Pradesh harbors the largest leopard population, followed by Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. So do remember, Bhupendra Yadav released report on status of leopards in India. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav releases postal stamp to mark AIRF centenary celebration. So Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav released the commemorative postage stamp of 100 years of All India Railway Mans Federation. The event was held at Karnal Singh Railway Stadium in New Delhi and attended by key officials, including the president of AIRF, Jaya Verma Sinha, CEO of Railway Board. AIRF, established 24th of April 1924, is one of the oldest and the largest trade unions in India. The federation engages in continuous dialogue with the railway administration, contributing to the social and economic upliftment of railway employees. AIRF has achieved significant milestones such as the ban on retrenchment of railway employees' salary redetermination and introduction of the contributory pension scheme. Nagaland government unveils universal life insurance plan. So Nagaland government, under the leadership of Chief Minister Nipia Rio, has unveiled the initiative aimed at alleviating the financial hardship caused by untimely demise of the family's primary earner. The primary objective of the CM's Universal Life Insurance Scheme is to mitigate the effect of losing a family breadwinner. So particularly for those people who have lost the breadwinner, this particular scheme has been launched. Nagaland is the state with the capital Kohima, and recently they have conducted the 25th Hornbill Festival. It focuses on various aspects of life, including education, health, and social economic stability. The scheme aims to provide financial security to affected families. Sangeet Natak Academy honors 6 artists as fellows, 92nd with Academy Puraskar. So the General Council of Sangeet Natak Academy elected 6 eminent personalities as Sangeet Natak Academy fellows. The council selected 92 artists for the Sangeet Natak Academy for the year 2022 and 2023. The award covers fields such as music, dance theatres, traditional folk tribal music dance theatres, puppetry, and overall contribution in the performing arts. Council was announced the winner of the Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar for 2022 and 2023. Sangeet Natak Academy, established in 1953, is the National Academy of Music, Dance, Drama in New Delhi. So do remember, Sangeet Natak Academy honors 6 artists as the fellows. Telangana government introduced one-time scheme, that is one-time scheme across all urban local bodies, including Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. This initiative is geared towards alleviating the financial strain faced by property owners. It addresses the mounting arrears interest on property tax payment. The scheme aims to provide financial relief to property owners. Who is the Chief Minister of Telangana? That is Mr. Revanath Reddy. NGEL and Mahagenco signed JVA to develop RE parks in Maharashtra. So NTPC Green Energy Limited and Maharashtra State Power Generation Company Limited signed a joint venture agreement to develop gigawatt scale renewable energy parks in Maharashtra. The agreement aligns with NTPC goal to attain 60 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity. The JVA was signed by Abhay Harne, Director, Projects Mahagenco, and VV Sivaka Kumar, Chief General Manager. The agreement was signed in the presence of Gurdeep Singh, CMD of NTPC Limited, and Mohit Bhargav, CEO of NGEL. NGEL is a wholly owned subsidiary of NTPC Limited, Maharatna Central Public Sector Enterprise under the Ministry of Power. So do remember that NGEL and Mahagenco signed JVA to develop a park in Maharashtra. NTPC Green Energy Limited partners with Mahagenco to develop renewable energy parks in Maharashtra. So recently, NTPC Green Energy Limited has partnered with the Mahagenco. We just discussed about this particular news. LSAM 18, India's Navy 4th ACTCM barge launched in Thane. So Indian Navy launched the ammunition cum torpedo cum missile barge in Thane, Maharashtra. Induction ceremony was presided over by Commodore Srish Dubey, Directorate of Ship Production. Ministry of Defense and Surya Dipta Project signed the contract of building 11 ACTCM barge. The barge are designed to enhance Navy's operational commitment of facilitating the transportation of articles and ammunition in Indian Navy ships. This ingenious design and build barges exemplify the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. So recently, LSAM 18 has been introduced into the Indian Navy. What is the capability that they can particularly take the ammunitions and other things with them on this project? Tavi Festival in Jammu to kick off on March 1. So, women self-help group under the Jammu Kashmir Rural Livelihood Mission are set to participate in the 4-day Tavi Festival in Jammu. The festival aims to showcase rich tapestry of art forms and cultural heritage of the region. It highlights the skill and creativity of local artisans. The event is expected to boost the visibility and market reach of these SHGs. So remember, Tavi Festival, it is related to Jammu. Tavi is the river that is of Jammu. It is a tributary of Chenab. So let's revise what we have learned so far. First of all, PM Modi and PM Jagannath inaugurate airstrip jetty in Aga Lega Island. DGCA penalize Air India 30 lakh for 80-year-old passenger demise. MOCI Minister Piyush Goyal launched Bharat Startup Ecosystem Registry. NABARD NRLM signed MOU to support rural women SHGs. PFRDA notifies amendments to retirement advisor regulations. Financial Literacy Week 2024, RBI announced Financial Literacy Ideathon. Asian Development Bank prize US $3.5 billion, 5 years global bond. CIL partners with BHEL to develop ammonia nitrate plant in Odisha. Indian Q3 financial year 24 GDP surges to 8.4%, exceeds expectations. Index of 8 core industries increases by 3.6% in January 2024. RBI revamps BBPS norms for enhanced efficiency. India Post Payment Bank partners with Hindustan Zinc for CSR financial services. DRDO successfully tests very short range air defense system. PM Modi launches India's first hydrogen fuel cell ferry. MOSPI signs MOU with the ISRO on urban frame survey using Bhuvan. Geological Survey of India names new marine species after President Draupadi Murmu. Juventus midfielder Paul Pogba banned for 4 years. Shafiqur Rahman Burke, India's oldest Lok Sabha MP, passed away. Brian Mulroney, former Canadian Prime Minister, passed away. Sunil Bharti Mittal awarded knighthood. Overview of PM Modi visit to Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi unveils coal logistics plan. Ghana Parliament passes anti-LGBTQ bill. Indian dam in Punjab halts Ravi River flow to Pakistan. MOEF and CC amend Green Credit Program rules. Cabinet approvals to some of the things like International Big Cat Alliance. Bhupendra Yadav releases a report on status of leopards in India. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav releases postal stamp to mark AIRF centenary celebration. Nagaland government unveils universal life insurance plan. Sangeet Natak Academy honors 6 artists as fellows. IPS officer Daljit Singh Chaudhary named NSG new Director General. Ministry of Women and Child Development organized Poshan Utsav. World Seagrass Day 2024, Rare Disease Day 2024, Zero Discrimination Day 2024 being commemorated. NGEL Mahagenco signed JVA to develop RE parks. NTPC Green Energy Limited partners with Mahagenco to develop renewable energy parks in Maharashtra. LSAM 18, Indian Navy 4th ACTCM barge launched in Thane. Tavi Festival in Jammu to kick off on March 1. Telangana government introduces one-time scheme. Former Indian diplomat Lakshmi Puri launched her debut novel Swallowing the Sun. And that's it in this session, guys. I hope you gained a lot of things and a lot of knowledge in this session. I will meet you in next session once again and we'll discuss some more current affairs in that. So till then, please take care everyone and see you soon. Bye bye.